So today, in honor of the Blueberry Arts Festival, we're going to be making blueberry clafoutis. And clafoutis is a French cake, but it actually has very little flour in it and a lot of eggs. So it's really more of a cross between a pudding and a cake. It's very moist and it's very easy to make. And we're actually going to be making a blueberry lemon clafoutis because I really like the flavor of blueberry and lemon mixed together. So the first thing you're going to do is preheat your oven to 350 degrees, and then you're going to butter a pie plate or any dish that is similarly shaped. This is a 9-inch one. That's a really good size for this. So then all you have to do is take a half a cup of flour, a third of a cup of sugar, and some kind of spice. So you can use cinnamon, but my favorite spice when I bake is coriander, ground coriander. And if you buy some and you sniff it, it smells like Fruit Loops. You might not like Fruit Loops, but it really actually does work out really nicely in baked goods. And you're gonna use like maybe a teaspoon, maybe half a teaspoon, depending on how, I like a lot of coriander, so I'm gonna use a teaspoon. And then you're just gonna stir that up a little bit, kind of mix all those dry ingredients together. Then we're going to add, I kept them in the fridge because it was a warm day. We're gonna add 3 eggs. We're going to add some butter, melted butter, 3 tablespoons of melted butter. And then we're going to add some lemon zest. And I would say a tablespoon, just because if you're not that crazy about a lot of lemon flavor, a tablespoon is good. It gives it a nice lemony flavor without being really overpowering. I'm actually going to add a little bit more than that because I really like lemon. I'm going to stir that up a little bit, just to kind of mix it up. And then I'm going to whisk it into a batter. You want it to be really smooth. You can use a whisk if you want. I think that's probably the traditional way to do it, but we'll do it an American way instead of a French way, and we'll use a good old-fashioned e-beater. So once I've mixed that up a little bit, then I'm going to add 6 tablespoons of milk. Stop occasionally and scrape the sides of your bowl. But you can see that this is a really liquidy batter. This is much more liquidy than your standard cake batter. So that's all part of that cross between a kind of a custardy pudding and a cake. Because again, it's only got a half a cup of flour for this dish. So now I'm going to pour this batter into my prepared pie plate. Then I'm going to take 3 cups of blueberries. So basically one of those 18-ounce packages of blueberries. You don't have to use blueberries if you don't want to. You can make this cake with raspberries or salmon berries or cherries, whatever you'd like. And I'm just gonna sprinkle it all in. It's really heavy on the berries. In fact, really it's berries held together with a little bit of batter. Spread them out a little bit. You just want to make sure that you get, oops, there's a stem. You just want to make sure that you get like a single layer so that all of the berries are in contact with the batter. And they'll kind of sink a little bit as it bakes. Okay, so there's our clafoutis. Really easy. We're gonna put it in the oven and we're gonna bake it for about a half an hour and we'll come back. Okay, so we've taken our clafoutis out of the oven and you can see that it's got this nice kind of golden crust along the edge and it's puffed up a little bit. It's cooling, so it's starting to sink a little bit. That's perfectly normal. That's exactly what you should expect to have happen. So the next thing I'm gonna dust it with some powdered sugar. And what I do to do that, to get a nice dusting, is I use a tea strainer. And then you just tap it. And you get a nice dusting and it goes over evenly. And it's really easy because you don't want to overpower it with sugar. You just want it to have a slight sweet taste to it. And then go ahead and cut a piece. And getting the first piece out is always the hardest part. And there we go. And you can see that it's just a mass of berries with a tiny little bit of really moist batter holding it all together. And it's got a big lemony taste to it. Super simple and easy. And like I said, you can substitute different kinds of fruit. So happy Blueberry Festival.